Young Adult Podcast.
Welcome to podcast 213.
213.
Might I say or sing? The boys are back in town.
We're back together, baby.
Yeah,
the boys are back together.
Back together again. It's been a while since it's just the dose of us.
Yeah. I was trying to think, when was the last time it was just you and I on the podcast?
I don't know. Maybe like very, very beginning of summer.
Yeah, it was a while ago. It's been a little bit. We've had Preston's been joining us for the pod, which has been great.
Yeah, and then we're going to make that a regular thing.
And then
but he's on vacation today.
He's on vacation today. Then I was gone. So Jason filled in for me, which I actually watched that podcast. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought you guys did a great job.
That was a great podcast.
That was a really fun podcast. I was kind of bummed that I missed it. I was like, this would be a good podcast to chime in on.
Isn't that an interesting podcast? The only person Jesus calls worthless?
Yeah.
It's not the person you'd expect.
It's that lazy man.
Yeah, it's the lazy man.
Man. That was a good one, but it's good to be back. It's good to be with you guys again. I just got back yesterday from Mackinac. The island.
Not vacation, though.
Not vacation at all. And I was there doing missions work, partnering with a local church that we're connected with up there. And he shared with me an interesting statistic. I don't know, you've done some ministry with him. And I have never heard this before until I went up there and was talking with him. Because I've been to Mackinac Island as a tourist. But he told me that Mackinac Island is, I think, the number 3 area in the state of Michigan for like human slavery.
What? Like human trafficking?
Yeah.
How?
And he said specifically for work, he said people will bring in these people from all over the world with the promise of paying off debt. And they basically never pay off a debt. You know, they're just there, you work for me 6 months and I'll pay off your debt. And they just keep them trapped there. They're not actually paying them. There's no wage getting paid out. And they're just like slave labor.
Whoa.
And he said it's, they try to manage it, but he said it's a real problem there on the island.
That is so sad.
Super sad. And so he said a lot of the people that they end up ministering to are people that are stuck in that. And there was one guy that we met, and he's like, he won't tell me that he is. He's like, but I'm very confident that he's just like trapped in this cycle. And yeah, so there's a very different side of Mackinac Island, that you don't normally get to see. And
that island of like pure Michigan bliss.
Yeah.
And the water and the flowers and the beautiful scenes. It's like a hellhole for some.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So that was crazy. But we had 19 high schoolers or 19 middle school and high schoolers we took up there, and they did incredible. Just preaching the gospel, praying over people, being bold with their faith. And I was super proud of them. We just got back last night, so I'm a little bit in that post-missions grog, but it's good to be back.
You're hammering it out, though. Before we get into the secret life of a pastor and our Bible talk today, I must highlight that you're podcasting despite being, injured.
Injured?
Let's just call it like, you're playing with an injury.
Yeah.
Froggy-headed, little rundown.
Yeah, for sure.
Injury. I just listened to a podcast yesterday.
Okay.
And the guy was doing the podcast. He was literally in the middle of dealing with passing a kidney stone.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he did the podcast.
Whoa.
He did it. And he just shared, and they started the podcast sharing with everybody about what the last 3 days have been like for him. He just got out of the ER.
No.
Just got out of the ER, came in, doing the podcast for 30 minutes, only to then, he knows, within the next 12 to 24 hours, he is passing a 44 millimeter to a 4 millimeter kidney stone.
Yeah.
He says it's about to go down. I'm like, this guy's, that's the definition of professionalism. Or something psychotic. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, dedication.
Ish.
Maybe a little bit psychotic. Yeah.
So you're in that realm now. You're in that.
Basically the same thing.
That's what I was thinking. You're basically playing injured, doing your thing.
Oh, yeah.
Working no matter what. Oh, man. You ready for the secret life of the pastor?
Dude, I'm ready. I'm excited for this one, too.
Why don't you introduce it for the
right.
very first time?
What is the intro for this one? I can't even remember.
It's whatever it's just naturally flows out of you.
Get ready. Secret Life of a Pastor.
Everyone sees Sunday, but we are going to talk about Monday.
Oh, yes. It's the UC Sunday. We're going to talk about Monday. That's the thing. I couldn't remember the little jingle. So I've been out for a little bit, so I was trying to think of it.
You introduced it just fine.
All
Not
right.
just fine. No, more than fine, my friend. You know what? A plus.
Okay, I'll take it.
A fine is like B minus, C plus.
Right.
Yeah, that was an A plus, bro.
Praise the Lord.
We could talk about what it's like to be on call for weddings and funerals.
Yeah.
I wonder if they know. I wonder if the peeps know. I wonder if they've ever even thought to themselves, what's the deal with all this stuff here?
Yeah, I doubt that they have, because I never did until, not even until I started working at the church. It was post that. It was when I got ordained to be a pastor.
Yep.
And then I realized,
No license, actually. It's
or
licensed.
yeah, I think it was when I was licensed to be a minister. And then I was like, okay, so I can, there's that little saying, you can marry and bury.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, that's a cute little saying. And then I remember oh, okay, so that means when people come to the church and are like, hey, I would like to get married, or hey, we need someone to do a funeral service, I'm on call.
Yes.
I am in the rotation of pastors and ministers who, we have a rotation, and it could be your name that gets called on.
Yeah, and obviously this is pretty common sense, but if you're doing somebody's wedding, there's months of lead up.
Yeah.
Sometimes even a year. I've had people ask me a year out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, year out. You know what? I'm sure my schedule's clear. Let's just get you on the calendar and let's get you going. But a funeral is like, hey, we need somebody in the next couple days.
Yeah.
Who's available? Who would? There's some things that are asked. Kind of first off is who's available.
Yep.
Who's available to do this funeral in the next couple days? And it's typically not everybody.
Yeah.
You weren't aware that it was going to happen. Maybe your schedule's pretty filled up. All right, so you're there. Next question is usually, does anybody have a connection with this person?
Yep.
Because typically what we would love to be able to happen is that one of the pastors on staff has a relationship with the family or with the deceased, and it would be your honor to help.
Oh, yeah.
To be a part of this experience. And that's typically what happens. Really rare, I would say. Maybe once a year, where there's a request for a funeral and there is no relationship.
Yep.
At all. It's about once a year that happens.
Yeah.
And then I would even say once a year, same thing with weddings.
Yeah.
To where, so-and-so at the church wants to get married. Does anybody know them?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Who is that? Who is that?
Yeah.
Tell me
Yeah.
How would I know them? What do they look like? Or where do they sit on Sunday? What service do they attend? Do they come on Wednesday? Oh, and I don't know that people. I don't know them at all. And then they're like, so nobody knows them. Who wants to do the wedding?
Yeah.
You're looking around like, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it's almost more odd when that happens with a wedding, but it definitely happens.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, here we go. I haven't been one of the people that get that request yet. I'm sure that I will. But that definitely happens. And it's almost comical to me. When we're a lot of times it'll happen, for the wedding especially, not so much for the funeral, but usually with a wedding, it'll happen during our staff meeting.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of funny to watch that realization of apparently these people go to our church, but nobody knows who they are.
At least none of the staff.
At least none of the staff. Yeah. And I feel sometimes there are people that are yeah, we go to your church, and they've been here a few times.
Yeah.
But that side of being on call is definitely something that I had to learn about. I had to get trained. You're the one that trained me to do weddings, to do pre-marriage counseling. I've done one session of pre-marriage counseling with another couple, and then doing funerals though is not something that I even had really thought about. But it's definitely part of the job of being a pastor. Yeah. And I remember when I got my first one, I was up to bat. And luckily, the week leading up to it, or it wasn't a week, few days leading up to it, I had a lot of help from our staff. They were great supporting me. And it was kind of one of those situations, like there wasn't a lot of people that were going to be available that day. I was one of the few that were. I had a slight relationship with like a distant family member, you know, and all right, where, it's kind of like, almost felt like someone playing in like AAA baseball. And they're just like, they get the call up like, hey, you're coming up to the big leagues.
Yeah, it's you know what? It's a great description you just said, because there's pressure involved, but it's good pressure.
Yeah.
You want to honor their life. You want to bless the family. You want to be there for people in their lower moments of their life, and you can be a rock for them. Yeah. And you understand the pressure of the situation. But that pressure is good pressure. Yeah. When you get called up to be in the major leagues, all of a sudden there's pressure. You want to perform well. You want to do your job well. And it's that same feel as a pastor. You're like, I want to do really good at this. Mm-hmm. I want to be a blessing to this family. And, so you just start like, okay, how does it work? Yeah. What do I do? How do I say this? How do I help them?
Oh yeah, and I feel like that pressure is maybe a side too, where it's not just like, hey, I don't just want to be professional, because I genuinely want to be able to comfort them. I genuinely want to be able to be a help, to be a source of joy maybe, or honor this person's life, honor their family. It's not just like, hey, I'm going to come in, I'm going to do a professional job, and I'm going to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's that genuine, like, hey, I want to, as a pastor, help care for this family, care for their soul, care for the people that are coming. Maybe they don't know the Lord. I want to be able to care for them. I want to be able to honor this person's life that they lived. It's definitely a weight.
Yes, it's a good weight.
Yeah.
You feel the pressure, and you want to be a big blessing to them. Yeah. As best you can.
Absolutely.
You feel that. And it's not a stress-free life as a pastor. We didn't sign up to just live like some sort of like, oh, this is a stress-free life. This feels like early retirement. It is like, it's the exact opposite.
So opposite.
I'll say this. When you're doing a wedding for a young couple, I've learned this, that, okay, you want to make the couple happy, but... the parents. Yeah. The parents of the couple. You feel pressure from them just as much. Yeah. You better do a good job. This is my daughter's wedding. We spend a lot of money. Are you qualified? Are you good? You want the wedding to finish, and you want that family to come up to you and say, you did, oh my gosh, that was such a great wedding. I love what you said. I love how you did it. I love that. You want to feel like you had a lot of people you needed to perform well, Yeah. It is a high pressure situation. I promise you that. It is high pressure.
Oh yeah. I've got to do quite a few weddings, a lot more than funerals, and absolutely that description is very accurate.
It's funny. I think about this sometimes with some of the weddings I've done. I felt like the bride's parents were more stressed than the bride. Yeah. And I realized, I think I'm doing this wedding, for the parents more than the actual couple. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's fine. But it's just the family dynamics. Enter into these family dynamics.
For sure.
It doesn't bother me that somebody else really cares. It doesn't bother me at all. But you just get the sense this is the one right here that I'm working for.
Oh yeah. For sure. For sure.
It's okay.
It's good. It's good.
I think we got a really good Bible talk today.
I do too. I'm excited for this one. It's gonna be good.
I am too. Let's get into some Bible talk.
I love me some Bible talk.
From nothing to wealthy.
Nothing to wealthy.
There's trends in the Bible of people who went from nothing to wealthy.
It's true. And I think this Bible talk, Pastor Luke, is going to be a really practical, very tangible podcast for people. If you're listening, you're like, man, I would love some tips and thoughts and patterns, I think is what we're kind of calling it, of people who can go from nothing to wealthy. How do I build my wealth? Well, we're talking about it right now.
Yeah, we are. And this is a biblical pattern of wealth building. This is going to come from the Bible. And we hope that this really does help a lot of people out there. Let's just start off with the first pattern of 4. There's 4 things that we found in common with people in the Bible that went from nothing to wealth. And the wealthy, the first one is this, is they did their work with excellence.
Come on.
They didn't do anything halfway. Whatever was in front of them, they did it well. And not just for money either. They did it for God. It felt like they were that Colossians 3:23 worker, which is work willingly at whatever you do, as though you're working for the Lord rather than for people. I think that there was this model of, I want to say it this way, their quality of the work they did was a reflection of who they served.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That's a great way to put it. And I think this pattern of working hard and working for the Lord is different than this just like grind it out.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Because that like message of like just grind it out is talked about a lot in our culture, but this message of work hard and work for the Lord and do it as unto God, that's a different mindset than just grind it out.
Ever heard the phrase master of none but jack of all trades?
Yes.
That's that sense of how do you explain that? Okay, like maybe there's like a linebacker on your favorite football team, and they're like just okay at blitzing. They're just okay at run stopping. They're just okay at covering tight ends that run out on the routes. They're just okay at everything they do. They're good enough to be out there. They don't really have a thing that they excel the most at. You know, you're a little bit concerned, but also they're there, but they're like jack of all trades, master of nothing.
Yeah, they're just like, they're right there in that like average statistic. Nothing jumps up, you know, like their blitz percentage isn't like crazy high. They're just right there and you're like, okay, like they're blitzing.
Yeah.
Like it's good, you know, like, yeah.
What we noticed though in the Bible is that there were people who were like extremely excellent at what they did, a high quality of work. I think about when Solomon was finding people to build the temple.
Yeah.
And God had laid out for them the instructions of the construction.
Yeah.
You know, pillars this high, you know, bowls on top of the pillar that look like this, gold leaf that nobody's even ever going to see because it's up so high. But like, they were like hiring these men who were masters.
Yes.
And they named these men by name.
Oh yeah.
Man, like that would have been such a privilege to be like,
Absolutely.
such and such a town.
And Moses did the same thing with the building of the tabernacle in the wilderness.
Yeah.
That's funny. That was the example that I thought of. So it's funny that you had thought of Solomon with the temple. But, you know, he's like, God, who are we going to get to who's, you know, skilled enough to make the Ark of the Covenant, you know, like that in the Holy of Holies and all these things. And there was a few men that are listed by name in the Bible. These men were skilled and they were excellent at, you know, gold making and embroidery and, you know, different things depending on the man. But
yeah. All right. Number 2, they were hardworking and took initiative. They didn't sit around waiting for opportunities to find them. Mm-hmm. They worked. They noticed opportunities. They took responsibility. They took initiative. They took action. Look at Proverbs 10:4. Lazy people are soon poor. Hard workers get rich.
come on.
They had like a diligence to them. Mm-hmm. Biblical prosperity, this is what we're talking about, never built with laziness.
Never built with laziness. I feel like this principle was really instilled into me by my father. He's a hard worker. He's a working man, works with his hands in construction. And I remember being 17. I had a summer job, and then I got a call from this guy, and he said, "Hey, I got your name from such and such. I'm putting up a bunch of hay this week. I'm looking for a young guy to help me put up hay. I'll pay you this much. Would you be interested?" I was like, "Yeah, and I'm not working this week, so yeah, let's do it." And I showed up to his house. Actually, I might have been a little younger than 17 because I think I had to ride my bike. I pulled up to his house and he said, hey, just want to let you know. He's like, last summer, I hired these 2 guys. And he's like, they weren't good. He's like, they were super lazy. They were always on their phone. I was like, he was like 70. He's like, I was out working these 2 high school kids.
My goodness.
He's like, if you're going to work like that, he's like, don't bother coming back tomorrow. Kind of gave me this little speech. And I was like, all right.
I like this guy already.
And so dude, I worked my butt off for this guy. I worked super hard. And he has got the easy job. He's just putting hay on the elevator. And I'm grabbing it, running to his huge horse barn, massive horse farm. And I worked for him all week. And he said, man, you did such a good job this week. He's like, I have more work for you if you want. He's like, and I'll like increase your hourly rate. He tipped me really, really well at the end of a few of the days. He would cook lunch for me.
Yeah, this is a good boss.
But it started on that first day where he was like, hey, if you're going to be lazy, don't bother coming back tomorrow.
It's not a bad thing to prove your worth.
Yeah.
Which is what he wanted you to do.
Yeah.
Prove your worth to me.
Yeah.
And I'll pay you for what you're worth.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's so great. And if you're prone to laziness, if you're prone to being the type of person who just kind of like waiting for opportunities to come your way, they won't come very often.
Yeah.
They won't come very often. I had a friend who started his own business as soon as he graduated high school.
Okay.
And he was going to be a window washer for residential and businesses. And he spent his Saturdays going around neighborhoods and business plazas giving out his business card and with flyers.
Okay.
Of course, your first window wash is like such and such a percentage off. And then after that, whatever. But like, I watched him work really hard.
Yeah.
And I watched him build a business from nothing.
Yeah.
And it was impressive.
Come on.
And now he still does the business. He's my age. He graduated a year before me. He still runs the business. He still spends his Saturdays going out and handing out his flyer and his business card in neighborhoods and things like that. He doesn't wait for the work to come to him.
Yeah.
He took the work to other people out there. Number 3, they didn't chase quick money. They weren't obsessed with getting rich overnight. They built, they worked, they were patient. They trusted God with the process. Proverbs 28:22. Greedy people try to get rich quick, but don't realize they're headed for poverty.
Yeah.
There's something, and there's one more thing that they understood. And that's the 4th thing that we'll get to it after this one.
Okay.
One last crucial component that these people understand. We'll get to it here at the end. But they didn't chase quick money.
They didn't chase quick money. This is maybe a bad thing. This is where my head went, but it's a great example, though. All right. You ever watch The Office?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know that? I think it's a cold open where Michael is trying to recruit all of the office members to be a part of the pyramid scheme that he got sucked into, but he doesn't realize it's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's not a pyramid scheme. It's like, I just recruit 2 more people. They each recruit 2 more people. Jim walks over and draws the little triangle around it. You're like, I got to go make a call. And leaves the office. Like, that's not like, you're chasing that cheap money. You're chasing that quick money, get rich quick scheme. Like, that you're going after it. And it's not the way.
No.
It's not the way.
Absolutely not. I don't know of that get rich quick stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. And that's why we don't recommend you trying to pursue it. Instead, pursue something that you can sink your teeth into for the long haul.
Yeah, come on.
A long ramp up. And what I love about that long ramp up is, if you keep at it, you keep going up, sure enough, you'll be in your 40s and 50s and 60s, and you're way up on the ramp now. Mm-hmm. And you've got a sustainable source on your hands. And this is so important that you don't notice anybody in the Bible who went from nothing to wealthy going after something quick.
Yeah, come on.
I think about like in the Bible when Jacob,
come on, that's
fell in love with Rachel.
Great pull.
And he tells the father, hey, I love your daughter Rachel, and I'd love to have her as my bride. And the father's like, okay, work for me 7 years.
7 years.
And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't really know anybody who would do that. Right now.
Right.
Like seriously.
Yeah.
If the father's like, yeah, you can have my daughter, you're gonna have to work for me for 7 years and just date her. You'd be like, no.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
No.
But this guy was so in love with her. The Bible says that those 7 years felt just like a few days.
Yeah.
And then, the father tricks them and ends up saying, if you really want Rachel, you got to work for me another 7 years.
Another 7 years.
But that was something to where I believe that he was willing to put in the long road to get something of high value.
Come on.
And the last thing here that we'll end with is these people in the Bible, they always honored God with their money.
Let's go.
We see it right away with Cain and Abel.
Yep.
Right away. With Cain and Abel, that it was, I always forget which one it was, but Abel gave his best produce as an offering to God.
Yep.
And Cain, he must have not given the Lord, not honored God.
Yeah.
With with his livelihood, which was his livestock.
Yeah. And, it's interesting about this idea of honoring God with your money because it's so much more, I think, than just even we talk about it now with giving, give a tenth, give a tithe. That's what Cain and Abel were doing. I think it was Cain who gave the produce, right? And Abel killed the lamb.
Yeah,
right?
I can't remember.
I think that's what it is.
Confused.
There's a lot of stories with brothers in the Bible. Sometimes they get mixed up a little bit. But I was thinking about Joseph too, and how he, in all of these different positions that he had, because everywhere that he went, he acquired sometimes not wealth, but power and influence. And he was always seemed to be successful everywhere that he went. But he was always also God honoring with all of the power and the influence that he got.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
You know what? Yeah, right. Let me highlight some of these ways to honor the Lord with your wealth beyond just giving 10% to your local church. You can honor the Lord with your finances. Look at Proverbs 3:9. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the best part of everything you produce. Don't make money your God.
That's good.
That's one way. Always make God your God. And just how you honor the Lord in your prayers, in your words, and how you treat people, you honor the Lord in your work, you honor the Lord in your thoughts. You can honor God with your wealth. You can be generous with it. You can protect it, honor it. Don't worship it. All these things. All these things, these 4 things that we talked about, I hope it helped you think about the way you work, maybe the way you earn, the way you save, the way you give, the way you build your wealth. And it's not about getting rich. That's not what this whole thing is about. It's not about, life is not about getting as wealthy as you can, as fast as you can.
Right.
There's more to life than that. It's about becoming, I wrote this down, the kind of person God can trust with more. That's what it's about.
That's really good. I like that.
Because that's what we see in the parable of talents.
Yeah.
They became people that God can trust with more.
Come on. That's so good. That's so good. We're running out of time. I'll wrap up real quick with this. Me and my wife have been talking about our finances recently and just looking at some of the stuff. And one of the things that's really helped me is having an end goal, or there's a next step. Hey, we would love to, in the next 5 to 10 years, be in a financial spot where we can do this in the kingdom of God. You know what I'm saying? So it's having that idea of, hey, it's not just I want to get rich. It's I want to be able to use what God has given me to advance God's kingdom and make a bigger impact in this world than I can right now with the finances that I have.
That's really good. Oh, it's been great to be with you today, audience.
It's been great. It's been good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to have you back, man. Catch you on the next one, everybody.
Bye.
Youth and Young Adult Podcast. Youth and Young Adult Podcast. Youth and Young Adult Podcast.